This is episode 83 of the Out of the Minds podcast. I'm Sean Oakley.
And I'm Sam Cooper, back in time from a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we've brought you the match we did mention at the end of last week's episode. This is actually your round 3 Kyber, I believe.
Yes, it is. Against Mat Burnett.
Yes, we've done well in Kyber, 96 teams, and we've managed to pull the other half of our own squadron and the group of people that regularly visit the same events as us.
Hey, it's good to play friends.
I mean, to be fair, I'm fully expecting to, go up to Sith Taker Open in a couple of weeks, drive 300 miles, and play my wife round 1.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But
onwards
and upwards of the game.
So we're playing Scramble.
I'm looking at this. It was playing Scramble. I was like, I'm just thinking of this round's Kyber. I could have sworn it was Scramble. This round of Kyber.
Yeah, it's Scramble. That's why there's only 3 objectives.
Oh, okay, no. I was going to say, like, for the current round, I mean, 2 weeks in the future, I was like, yeah. They rolled Scramble again.
Yeah, it is. Yay!
Yeah, I was like,
Scramble
just completely mind myself there. Anywho, so yes, playing Scramble, and I'm playing good old Siege of Coruscant list, and Matt is playing. I mean, I feel like this is like just the standard imp list with like some variation of this now is these days.
I mean, it's got Vader, it's got the ties, and then what you do with the other points is kind of the variation, isn't it?
Yeah. So we've got Boy Vader, Boy Backstabber, Boy Mauler Mythal, Iden with an ion cannon, elusive, and something else. Unfortunately, the shared screen has decided to blur the top quarter of the screen, so I can't read what upgrades he has.
I want to say is that Minister? It looks like a crew card. Minister? No, it's not.
Vizier has Palpatine.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the other. Iden had like I want to say it was elusive, ion cannon, and disciplined, possibly.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, one more thing. Right.
And yeah, so we're playing Scramble, and Matt wins first player, and he places the first objective, basically just outside of range 2 of the center on the left hand side, just as far up as you can go, and I place my objective on the far right hand side as far as I can go, and this is a stupid mistake on my part.
Now, see, it's interesting you say that because I've thought about this actually. Like, depending on what your opponent's flying, but if he's flying something like ties that don't have a 1-string stuff, maybe putting it close to your opponent's side so that they're forced to come past it might be.
So my thought is, I should have placed it on the left as well, and I should have forced the straight joust because I think I win. And if I think or at least I think I have an advantage. Maybe I don't win, but I have a bunch of ships that can block, and I should have wanted to force us to fight over one side.
Yeah, now that I can agree
because what I've set up now is I'm going to get one objective, Matt's going to get one objective, and there's going to be a clash in the middle.
Yeah.
And in theory, that should I should still be okay with that. But why make it complicated? Make the fight over the center objectives. I have actions to spare to claim objectives with my Howard Charles that Matt definitely doesn't want to do, because if his ties don't have focus tokens, they are going to die.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm saying literally turn 0 out of the bat. I should have forced all of the objectives on one side, and I had the option to because I lost priority.
Yeah,
because all I've done is said that Matt is going to tick 1 point up.
Yeah,
effectively. Now, admittedly, there is a cluster of 2 that we'll be fighting over, because the one I placed is the far right, and Matt is about as close to the center as you can get. But even so, like for just sheer efficiency on actions that I have, because like not only like do some of my actions not matter as much, like the Howard Charles actions don't matter, I'd argue that DFS 081's action doesn't matter as much, so I can afford to just claim objectives, and then I will get actions as he kills my stuff.
Yeah, of course.
So I think like this going into this game, I think I just had the wrong idea. I don't know if I think I'd just come off the back of like a couple of practice games just not doing too well in Joust, so I just wanted to be like, okay, we're going to spread out and we're going to skirmish. when actually, like, this list pretty much only does jousting, and does jousting pretty damn good.
Because I think, like, I mean, you easily initiative kill Vizier if you want.
Yeah.
And you can probably take. I mean, all right, maybe you don't take down a tie, but if you don't, you've probably burnt through the Iden charge.
Yeah.
Right.
But moving on from that, essentially, I deploy all of my ships on the bottom left-hand side of the map in a weird formation. I'll admit.
I was about to say this is a new one.
This was me trying to sort out my initiatives whilst also keeping the people who need to move fast able to move fast. So the far left, I've got both of my flaks, one behind the other. Then essentially I've made like almost like like an upside down F along the bottom of my board. Essentially, I've got the two flaks, and then along like the front flax row, I've got the two Howard Charles 404 and then 081, and then behind the second Howard Charles, I've got 32C. Because the idea was I wanted everyone to be able to move and not worry about lower initiatives in front of them. I wanted 404 in the front row because he has an APT.
Yeah.
And I wanted the flax to have the freedom to boost out. And I think this is still fine, although I'm overcomplicating it. I can just, fly better. Like, I think this is fine. It does exactly what I want it to do, and it's quite easy to maneuver around. But like I could compress it a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think that I don't think this isn't like error. This is like a little bit weird, but it does what it has to do. On the other side, Vizier is deployed in basically Mat's left, so the top right hand corner as we're looking at it, directly opposite the objective I've essentially handed to him. Then there is Vader, and I believe that is Mauler, with their bases right at the back of the board. Slightly ahead of them is Iden, and then Backstabber near the center of the board.
Backstabber. Backstabber's near.
Iden's yellow.
Yeah, Iden's yellow. Because you want Backstabber near to Vader for.
Yeah, got the colours mixed up. Yeah, basically Backstabber is slightly ahead of Mauler Mythal, and then Iden is positioned to go directly down the center towards the center objective. Rock-wise, this was so. I placed my 3 Pride of Mandalore rocks in a small triangle in the the middle left quadrant of the board near the center and near the 2 objectives on the left hand side. I literally just made a small triangle because I wanted to make the Vizier have as much of an annoying time as possible, and most of my ships are pretty good at flipping through it.
Yeah, I mean, you've kept it on Matt's side, so it's made it difficult for him to come down to those 2 objectives.
And Matt's 3 rocks were essentially placed in a line on the right hand side of the board, so yeah, I've got a giant wad of space in front of me, and Matt has to fly through most of the rocks to get to where 2 of the objectives are, essentially. So I'm all right with the rock placement.
Yeah, I think it favours you. So, before we get going, target priority.
So, in this sort of list, if Vizier presents himself, hell yeah. I just don't think he will, because he has Palp.
Yeah.
I want to burn the Iden charge. And other than that, I actually think Vader is hilariously the best target to try and hit if I can.
I think if you get multiple arcs on him, I'd agree with you.
Yeah. Like, and if I burn the Iden charge randomly, then yes, start burning the ties. But the ties are at least Backstabber and Mauler are just really annoying to kill because they're 4 health behind 3 agility.
Yeah. Okay.
And a focus and a force.
Yeah.
Because Palp.
Let's get to it then.
Yes, let us engage. So I win priority, and essentially the word of the day is steam ahead full. For my list, I'm pretty sure everyone just does a 4 straight on my guys and calculates. Vizier, I believe, boosts and then 1 straight and then focus is. And then basically the rest of my list starts going. Iden does I want to say that's a 3 straight and then focuses. And then the pile of ties, I believe, my flaks do 5 straights and boosts, I think. or four straight and boost, and then the Backstabber, Mauler, and Vader, I do believe, all do a 3 or 4 straight and focus. And so what you just saw there on the afterburners, that's what it was. The afterburners boosted. Yeah, and focus. So he's like dead in the center already, and I'm like thinking, my strung out formation is a little scary. Vader just does a 3 straight and barrel rolls to the left, basically lining up behind the ties. Anyone watching the YouTube video, what you saw with the little dials was somehow Mauler's dial got assigned to Iden. And so, yeah, we actually don't know what happened, but the dials got mixed up, and then we caught it as he tried to move the ties, and he just fixed it just then.
Fair.
So start of the thing. My flax are on a flanking maneuver, and my entire formation needs to turn in. Except I've done the whole engage in column formation that is a bit silly, with which is like the consequence of my formation here.
But I mean, so long as you get 404 near the front somewhere.
I mean, everyone. I think I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure this is the turn of 3 hards and 2 hards.
I'm curious what you do with the flax.
I'm pretty sure they've 3 hard and they barrel roll to the left. At least one of them does.
Because I was wondering whether a 3 hard puts you in front of the rock, so you have to barrel roll. I did wonder about possibly doing a 3 bank and a boost.
I did think about it. I just wanted to make sure I was pointing directly in the center, because at where they were, I was like, I can afford to not have a calculate, and if Iden somehow ends up in the bullseye, then sure. So Matt wins priority. And the Howard Charles do their. So one does a 3 hard and calculates, the other does a 2 hard and claims my objective. Vizier doesn't boost, I believe does a 1 bang and claims the far right objective. Then DFS 081 does a 3 hard. I barrel roll to the left and link it to a calculate.
Nice.
32C does I want to say that's a 3 hard and calculate.
Yeah.
Iden does a 2 straight, and then I believe she focuses.
I mean, I would there. Yeah.
Yeah, so 404 does a so this anyone who's watched our podcasts, this is before I knew I was doing struts wrong, just for the record. I don't think it comes up, but I 3 hard DBS 404, barrel roll to the left, and I believe I link it to a target lock onto one of the ties. Yeah, I lock Backstabber. No, that's Mauler, isn't it? I can't identify the art on the boys. I think that's Mauler. Mauler then does a 2 straight, landing nicely in front of everyone.
Yep.
And tries to barrel roll to the right.
Ooh.
And fails completely.
Ooh.
Which is awkward.
I mean,
because of what Backstabber is about to do.
But that means he's going to take an APT. That's got to be range 1, surely. Oh, I don't know, actually.
I wish. Anyway, so Backstabber does a 4 straight, bumps into the back of Mauler, and takes a damage.
Okay.
Then my flax both do 3 hards. So yeah, one 3 hards and boosts to the left, getting around the rock, because I can just 1 hard next turn and be quite safe. And the other 3 hard, I'm pretty sure sorry. I have 3 hard, boost to the left with afterburners, barrel roll to the right and link it to an evade. That nets me around the rock, and then I can loop in next turn quite happily. The next flak also does a 3 hard, and I'm pretty sure I barrel roll up. Yeah, this is the second flak is what I thought they both did. The second flak just does a 3 hard, barrels to the left and links it to an evade. No bullseyes, unfortunately. Vader did a 2 straight and didn't bump, I'm pretty sure.
Nope, doesn't look like it. Looks like he took a
and
lock.
Has a lock on DFS 081. So shoots at DFS 081, spends a force for rolls hit, blank, spends a force for to change with the blank to a hit and changes the hit to a crit. I roll focus blank, so I spend my calculator to charge to cancel the crit and just take 2 damage.
Nice.
I do like his ability. I really like his ability.
I suppose that's the better way of doing it, because you could spend the calculate on the focus, but then a direct kills you anyway.
Exactly.
So
yes.
Yeah, I like that.
So here's the fun part, by the way. because Mauler and Backstabber have bumped at a weird angle, they are each other's sides.
Don't they need Vader in the side, or is it literally
No,
any of them?
either of them, or Vader.
Oh, okay.
You can run a tie. You don't need Vader to run a tie swarm with those guys, and they have 3 dice most of the time. So yeah, they both get the extra dice because Mauler and Backstabber are in each other's sides, and they start firing into DFS 081. Poor chap.
Oh, I'm assuming dies.
I believe this is Backstabber. He rolls hit, crit, focus, blank. I roll blank focus and take 2 more damage, and DFS 081 dies. So I contingency protocol.
Bet you really wish you hadn't a barrel rolled 404.
Well, yeah, a little bit, but here is the saddest moment in this game that I have.
Okay.
Is I contingency protocol a target lock to DFS 32C, and I can go on record as saying that the range check tells me that Vader is range 3.
Yeah, I can see the line. It hits the corner of his base.
Yeah, so I take a lock onto Darth Vader, thinking, sweet, I got a plasma. So yeah, checking Mr. Mythal has range 1 into DBS 404, has Backstabber bumped into his bum in arc, rolls hit crit. I roll 2 evades.
Nice.
So the flak, the lead flak, has range 2 into Iden, or range 3 obstructed into Vader, and I just take Iden. I don't really have many hopes for this one. I just maybe he spends the focus, maybe he spends the charge. So I roll hit crit crit.
All right.
And Matt rolls evade focus blank. And then he spends like a solid minute thinking about this one.
Yeah, it's an interesting. You spend the focus, take 1 crit. It's not going to kill you. I mean, you've got elusive actually. Elusive the blank first.
Yeah, I think I remind him about elusive. I can't remember or not. If this is the game, I remind him about elusive or not.
Elusive the blank, but if it stays like that, I think I spend the Iden charge.
Yeah. Oh, not ion cannon. It's a heavy laser cannon. I'm pretty sure that is. Yeah, he elusives the blank into a evade and then spends the focus for 3.
Yeah.
Then I have a range 3 flak shot into Iden. All right, focus is down. I roll focus blank crit, and Iden rolls 2 evades. Then at the end of I5, DFS 01 finally gets removed. We have Iden has a range 2 obstructed into 404, range 3 obstructed into a Howard Child, or range 3 obstructed into 32C, takes 404 and rolls blank focus. And then 404 has the saddest range 2 shot in you can imagine into Mauler. I'm going to get these 2 mixed up completely. I'm pretty sure this is Mauler in the front. Anyway, I roll hit blank, target lock the blank into a blank, and Mauler evades. And then I check arc for 32C, and Vader's not in arc.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I can still see a line going to him.
It doesn't go to him. I zoomed in on this one. There is a millimeter where Vader is not in range.
Yeah, I mean, we all know the visuals are slight.
Yeah,
are slightly.
I think if you go forward in the video, I will close the firing arc and check range 3 again, because I was like, wait, did I just imagine he was range 3? No, he is in fact range 3.
Did you not check the chat? I always check the chat.
I did. I scrolled back up, checked the chat. I was like, yeah, it is range 3, and I bring up the circle again. I was like, yeah, it is range 3, just not in firing arc. Yeah.
How can it not be in firing arc? The firing arc goes well. It's not even like it's the edge of the firing arc.
Yeah. So this is the saddest target lock in existence. I was baited. Anyway, I shoot into Mauler. I roll hit blank. Mauler rolls 2 focuses and 2 blanks to take a single damage.
You know, I think if I was Matt, I would have let you move your lock there. Because if you were playing in real life, you'd get your stick out and you'd visually see it, and then you wouldn't recheck range. Honestly, even playing TTS, I probably wouldn't have checked range. I would have just gone plasma torp into Vader. We know it's range 3 because I took a lock on you.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna. I'm okay. I was okay with this because I was like, well, this is just math, right?
Oh, no,
TTS doesn't
I understand
lie.
why he didn't. He's under no obligation to, but...
Yeah, well, also, I also didn't make a thing of it. I was just like, oh, well, that's annoying. I guess I just thought, oh, it must be the angle. But like looking at top down, like I feel like the angle wasn't the issue.
No.
And it just is what it is. Like I checked range 3 for my target lock. You know, you're not supposed to check firing arc when you're doing this.
No, but I mean, it's
I
not
thought
even
I had
like
him.
it was close, like...
Yeah.
But hey, it's what it is.
It is what it is. And so I just keep shooting into Mauler with my Howard Charles. I get hit focus, spend a calculate for 2, he evades, and the third Howard Charles does nothing. 1 point each.
So 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1. But here's the second reason I'm sort of like fine with this. 30TC has a target lock on Vader. And I am okay with this situation.
I mean, yeah, because you should be quite easy to get a plasma onto him.
Yeah.
Next turn. I mean, my assumption is you kind of go slow and try and block the ties in case they try to zoom past.
Yeah. 30TC is going to be doing a 1 straight.
Yeah.
And here's where my mental gymnastics comes into place, because the Howard Charles are in slightly awkward spots. Because I did that 2 hard instead of a 3 hard with the one who claimed the objective.
Yeah. So he's going to have to go fast enough to jump.
So he's got to go fast enough to jump over 32C. 32C then has to hope that a 1 straight doesn't clonk into the back of him. But I don't want the Howard Charles to go too far. Ideally, I believe I just ended up copping out and saying, screw it, 5 straight from the back one. And the yellow one ahead will do a 2 bank.
I actually wonder if
just
you
to completely get out of the way.
Do something like a 4 straight and then barrel roll the green one up to try and block Iden coming down.
So I thought about that, but then I was like, but then he's going to get in the way of the other Howard Charles and potentially 404.
Yeah.
So I just went for 5 straight, and I was like, we'll see where we end up, and if he has to barrel out of the way, that is the price of a 2-point ship.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
But anywho, I get priority, so it's time to move. So my front Howard Charles does a 2 bank to the left, landing just in front of 404, and I'm currently staring at that gap thinking, oh, I'm not sure if a base fits in there. Because a 404 is on a 2 straight.
Ooh, okay.
So I believe I'm pretty sure I barrel roll to the right and just say screw it. I barrel roll to right and forward, link it to a calculate. 5 straight from the green Howard Charles, and then I'm pretty sure I claim.
Okay.
Yeah, I claim the objective because I'm like, okay, 1 straight fits in there. That's all that matters. Vizier, I believe, does a boost to the left, coordinates a focus to Darth Vader, and then obviously doesn't get an action after he does his 1 sloop. God, Vizier's ability is so good.
Yep.
Anywho, 32C does a 1 straight and calculates. 404 flips the stabilizer, flips the strut lock override, does a 2 straight over the center rock, bumps into Mauler, and I believe I don't take a red calculate because I'm thinking stuff is going to die. But I could be wrong.
Oh.
Yeah. So Iden does a 3 bank, bumps into 404, but
That's
just
so
not
close.
on the rock.
Yeah, so
and we were actually looking at that. I think if that hadn't been a bump, we actually think Iden would have ended up on the rock.
Fair enough.
But it is what it is, and I believe Iden's going to take a red focus here.
I mean, I would. She's got a if that's a HLC, she's got bullseye on people.
Yeah. Yeah, red focus from Iden. So the flak, the flak who afterburners and barrel roll does a 3 bank, coming just behind the rock and landing directly behind Iden. And I think I've no idea what's going on. I think I tried to afterburners boost to the right just to try and get into the mess. It fails, and so I just calculate. Then I do a 3 straight with the other flak. And I barrel roll to the right and link it to an evade because I'm hoping that there should be at least 1 tie or possibly a Vader in my bullseye on the bottom side of that rock on the center.
Yeah.
So now he's lined up basically directly behind 404. So Backstabber does a 3 bank to the right and basically jumps over most of my swarm and is in his happy land. He's pretty free.
But I mean, he's going 1-on-1 with a tri-fighter at range 1, and you've got as many greens as he has.
Yeah.
And better reds.
And judging by where he is, I don't think there's going to be a backstabber or a
No,
Vader in his
no.
side arc.
No, because his side arcs are full of droids.
Yeah. I mean, like there's a rock just to the right of him, so maybe you never know.
Well, yeah, I mean that's true.
Anyway, he takes a focus. Backstabber then bumps into one of my droids. I think he did a fork straight and it effectively bumps into 32C, and then takes a red focus. And then Vader does I want to say 2 bank, bumps into the back of Backstabber, but doesn't take a damage.
Okay.
Start of engagement, my flak has Vader and Backstabber in bullseye, so gets a calculate.
And Vader has no lock, right? Because he locked.
And Vader has no lock because he locked the guy who died.
Yeah.
So Vader shoots range 1 into the Howard Charl, which I was surprised at.
Maybe he knows his ability. He doesn't want to give the Howard Charl. Oh no, it's an action actually. So
Howard Charl is stressed. Yeah, actually, to be fair, quite a few people who have explained this ability to also like get worried about it. Then I say like, no, he's stressed. He can't do anything.
Well, so many things like, these days are like acquire locks.
Yeah. And let's be fair, in this list, contingency protocol is even while stressed. So when I'm doing extra actions, it's pretty easy to assume that I can do it while stressed. But no, the Howard Charl can in fact not. But he's shooting range 1 to the Howard Charl. He gets hit, crit. No force required.
1 force required because he got blank.
Oh, was it blank? Was it 1 force required?
He got blank crit hit.
You sure I think I have malice.
No, might do actually. No, he got maybe. Either that, or he's going into 404 and he marksmanshiped it because it's got marksmanship.
Possibly. Well, we'll see what happens when I roll dice.
You roll blanks.
There we go. I roll blanks and I'm taking hit, crit into 404.
It is 404. Is that a blinded pilot?
That was a panic. There was a panicked pilot, and I can't remember what the other one was. I think it was stunned. So the flak, range 1 into Vader. I roll hit, focus. And I spend my calculate because there's none in range for 3 hits. Vader rolls trail mix, spends a force for 2 evades. So 1 damage off Vader. And then at this point, I'm like all in on Vader.
Yeah.
So range 2 into Vader, I get hit blank, a crit blank, focus, spend his calculate for hit crit. This is the second flak, by the way, the guy who's currently range 1 of Mauler. Vader rolls blank, focus.
Spend the focus.
Yeah. Spends his focus for 2 evades. Now we go over to the TIE Fighters. So Mauler has range 1 into the flak, rolls hit, crit.
Yeah.
I spend 32 C's calculate and my evade, because I rolled evade, focus. Evade, focus. I spend my evade and 32 C's calculate on the flak for 3 evades. Then we got Backstabber, who I can't remember who Backstabber shoots. Goes into the Howard Charl, rolls hit, focus, blank. No bullseye. Wait, why bullseye? What? I think he spends his focus token on this, or there's a predator somewhere, possibly. But anyway, he ends up with hit. I roll a single evade, so I take a damage on the Howard Charl.
Or he spent palp. I think he spent.
Or he spent palp. Actually,
yeah. If you look at the force,
the entire top third is really just a blur to me.
Fair enough.
So I don't know what's gone with the rendering on Discord, but 404. And at this point, I'm like 404 is not surviving another turn. Range 1 into Vader.
Oof.
And I roll blank, focus.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about taking a crit.
Yeah. Then Iden has a heavy laser cannon into 32C available, I do believe.
Yeah.
And chooses to take it. Rolls hit, blank. I roll 2 evades.
Nice.
32C fires a plasma torpedo into Darth Vader. I roll crit, blank hit. I spend the lock on the blank to a focus. Spend the calculate for hit, crit. Vader rolls 2 evades and a blank. So that is 2 shields off Vader.
Nice.
Then Vizier has a shot into someone who I can't remember. I'm rolling 4 dice, so I'm guessing it's an obstructed range 3 or it's the flak.
Yeah.
And I rolled a bunch of evades, so I lived. Then I won. And my Howard Charles into Vader, hit crit.
Nice.
So evade blank on Vader. So Vader takes a crit. I can't remember what crit it is. I think it's
Looks like a panicked.
That's a panic. Yep, look, he's added 2 stress, so panic. So the last Howard Charles, range 2 into Vader. I roll hit blank. Vader gets blank focus and spends a force.
Yeah.
Like we didn't do it. We didn't do it on the table. We just were like, I spend the force, then I recover it.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you get it back straight away. It's okay. So that's quite nice. Like Vader's double stressed and has 2 health left.
Yeah, 2 health left. Okay. So, this is the turn where I'm going to say throw the game.
Okay.
Because I think I'm in a pretty good spot here.
Yeah,
and this so. And I don't want to say something like this is the turn that lost me the game. Like this is the turn where I am in a good spot and I just throw the advantage over to Matt and he capitalizes because I make one huge miss move because I just misjudge how far the yellow stress tower Charles is going to go.
Okay. Interesting.
Because my plan, okay, I'll tell you my plan. My plan, the lead Howard Charles, he's facing Vader. I want to move over Vader and then try and get in range of that far right objective to claim probably next turn. So I think maybe I barrel roll or whatever, just to get in the way of Vizier, try and stop that coordinate. And then the second Howard Charles does a 1 hard up towards the center of the board and just tries to gum up the work still. 32C does a 1 hard up to the center of the board, tried to gum up the works. 404, I think I'm an R about what to do with him, and I settle on just doing a 2 or 3 hard down towards my table edge just to try and turn him around.
Yeah.
And get him into a spot. The back flak, the pink flak who's in front of Mauler, I just want to do a 2 straight. I kind of like where he is. I just want to avoid. I'm pretty sure I don't touch the rock, so I do a 2 straight. And the other flak, I set up to do a 5k, and then I can try and afterburners. I can try and boost in behind Vader.
See, interesting. I thought that top flak was just 1 hard in.
Yeah, I've thought about that. I just wasn't sure where, because at the time I wasn't sure where everyone was going, and I thought maybe 404 goes up that way. So I just thought, you know what, I'll set up that top flak to just try and get behind his entire list, and we'll work out where he goes. Because maybe Vizier does something crazy.
Yeah,
was my thoughts. And the mistake I make is on the very first Howard Charles I try to move, which is Mr. Yellow there.
It doesn't.
I don't go far enough.
It doesn't clear Vader.
It doesn't clear Vader.
Oh.
So if you're watching YouTube, based on the moves I just said, how many people bump?
I'm guessing you dial in a 3.
Yeah, I dialed in a 3, and this is literally just me hedging because I just wanted to make sure. I can't. You know what? I can't remember which K turn I put into the flak. I think I wanted to make sure I didn't get in the flak's way.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I want to try and get just the other side of Vader, but not too far. So I dialed in a 3 because I thought that would just clear the back of Vader. I am wrong. And I bump into Vader. So now the train shall begin. And this is where I basically throw my advantage away. Because I do a red focus, and then my other Howard Charles does a 1 hard straight into the back of my other Howard Charles. He takes a damage. Vizier just does a 1 straight and focuses. 32C does a 1 straight and bumps into my Howard Charles, takes a damage. So because the idea was 32 was going to 1 straight and maybe look at putting into a plasma torp into Vizier or trying to just like cover the angles. Basically, I wanted to block the tie and Vader in as long as possible.
Yeah.
And if the tie tried to do a 4K or a 4 straight, a 1 straight with 32C, I thought might just block it. I think it technically still does, but I've taken a damage and have no action to for the fun of it.
Yeah.
So Iden tries to do a 2 straight and bumps in, tries to turn to the left and just bumps into my ships. So takes a red focus. 404 does a too hard to the right. Thankfully, clears my own Howard Charl. And I either calculate or fix that crit.
You don't do anything. You ditch one of your stress from the panic pilot.
Oh, I was panicked, was I? Yes, I ditched the stress.
Left.
Yeah. So then Mauler tries to do a 2-bank over my flag and just bumps into me. He was taking the gamble on who won priority, essentially. And doesn't take a red focus. Backstabber does a 2-bank into the back of Mauler. Doesn't. Oh no, not 2-bank. That must be some sort of 3-bank, I think. Takes a damage from the bump into Mauler. Then my flax. So my flak that was doing a 2 straight just bumps into one of the ties, and I take a red calculate. The other flak, maybe that is a 5k.
Yeah,
that might be a 5k.
Like a 5k.
Then I afterburner's boost behind Vader because I'm looking at where Vader can go, and unless Vader's done a 5 straight, I'm pretty sure he's bumping into something.
Yeah.
So Vader does a 1 straight and bumps into my Howard Charl. But Vader's still stressed. And so now Vader is in the bullseye of both of my flaks, and I have 2 Howard Charles able to shoot at him. So both flaks get an extra calculate, and I start shooting... Vader starts shooting the Howard Charl at range 1, I believe. Rolls hit, blank, spends a force for 3 hits. I roll 2 focuses. I spend a calculate for 1.
And then I'm guessing you change your mind because you realise that won't stop you dying because you've already taken the damage. Yeah, there you
go. Yeah. So contingency protocol. And sadness abounds.
Because you can't really...
I'm pretty sure blue target locks Vader.
Yeah.
The blue being the flak who is behind Vader.
Yeah, I think that's a fair...
Because 32C can't realistically do anything.
You didn't.
Oh?
How did you... Pink's taken another calculate. How's Pink...
Well, Pink had 1 calculate from the bump, and then Vader's in his bullseye.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry. So
I think I'm just trying to work out what to do. Yeah, I give the target lock to my blue flak, the guy who is directly behind Vader, and I target lock Vader. Because unfortunately, 32C isn't in a position to take advantage of any of his abilities.
No, I don't think you can squeeze a barrel roll in there.
Yeah.
I think you're just out of range 1 for... Well, you can't... No point jamming anyway.
Yeah. So then we go to the 5s, and Matt is first player. So it is both ties shooting into my flak. And hey, they're bumped at a weird angle, so they're in each other's arcs. So Backstabber rolls blank focus hit crit and spends...
Palp, I'm guessing.
Palp for... Oh, so yeah, Palp for hit crit, and then Predators the blank into a crit. And then I roll 3 evades.
Okay, let's take a crit.
So take a crit, direct hit.
All right.
Then Mauler, range 0 into the flak, rolls hit blank. And I roll a single evade, luckily. So, range 1 into Vader. I've got a target lock and a calculate.
I wonder whether actually doing the pink one first.
I probably should have done.
Might have been all right, Vader's only got the force, but if you could burn a couple of the force, your blue one, I know he's got the lock, but would still have a range 1 into Iden, and if you don't kill the tie, you might have burnt a bit of force. Whereas if you only net 2 results here and he rolls 2, or he rolls 2 focuses that he needs, then...
You're probably right. But anyway, I roll 3 hits in a blank. I spend the lock on the blank into a blank. Vader rolls evade, focus, spends his 1 force that he has remaining.
I know he had 2 force remaining, so I'm guessing he's...
Oh, he had 2 force?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, if he'd done exactly that...
I literally can't read.
He had 2 force, so he's taken no damage.
Okay. Then my other flank shoots range 2 into Vader. I get hit blank. And Vader rolls a single evade. So Iden has options. There's range 2 into 32C, or range 2 obstructed into my flak.
Or range 1 into the Howard Charl.
Or range 1 into the Howard Charl. And I believe he takes the Howard Charl. He rolls hit crit.
And you dodge it.
And then I dodge it. 32C has a range 3 obstructed shot into Vizier. I roll hit. Vizier rolls blank focus.
Spends the focus.
Spends the focus for 1, just loses a shield. Then has a range 1 shot into a flak. Rolls blank focus crit, and then remarks, "God, I wish I'd kept that focus."
Yeah.
But I rolled triple blank.
Yeah.
So direct hit. Second flak on 1 health. Then I have the range 0 shot into Vader. I roll hit. Vader rolls evade focus. Takes his damage. Vader's down to 1.
Yeah, but so are most of your ships.
Yep, pretty much. And then at the end of the round, I get 2 points to his 1. It's 7-5 to Matt. And this game is a mess. And yeah, so a lot of my ships are limping, basically.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to kill Vader.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that basically... So we can probably just roll through this game, because essentially the rest of the game is I try and kill Vader and fail miserably.
Because I know the end score.
I'm not joking.
You're like a third of the way there with 13 minutes left.
Yeah. Well, basically, the final round of the game, I kill Vader, and he kills 3 of my ships.
Nice.
Like, I'm not joking. Vizier kills 1, both, and 2 of... Oh, no. I think each of the ties kills a ship. I deal 1 more damage this entire game. So anyway, the Howard Child does the 4 straight he should have done last round. It just takes a calculate, because I didn't think it was in range of that final objective. Vizier did a stop, which I was like, oh yeah, he can do that. 32C does a 2k, and 404 does another 2 hard to the right and takes a calculate. Iden does a 2 bank to the left and takes a focus. He's got range 1 into 404. Mauler does a 2 hard to the left and barrel rolls to the right just to get away from everyone. Backstabber does a 1 hard to the left. I think he's just trying to get out of everyone's way. My flak does a 3 straight and somehow lands directly in between both Iden and Vader without bumping.
Please tell me you take a lock on Mauler.
You know what? I think I just calculate because I don't know where stuff is ending up.
Because Mauler's only got 2 health left. He's the only other one apart from Vader that's got a shot, and there's every chance that Vader just jumps into you.
The problem is he's range 1 of Iden.
Yeah, that is a good point. Dang, Iden.
Oh no, I evade because this guy's on 1 health, and I just wasn't sure if Vader was bumping again.
Yep, that's fair.
Then my other flak just does a 2 hard to the right and takes an evade. Vader does a 4 straight, I want to say, and then afterburners boosts. So Iden is in the bullseye of my flak, so I get to calculate at the start of engagement, and we go to the shooting.
How do you lose 3 ships?
Not this turn. There's another turn.
I was about to say you've only got 2 of them in all.
There's another turn.
All right, fair.
Don't worry, nothing happens this round. Like maybe 1 damage into 404. Anyway, so my flak shoots Vader 3 blanks. Iden shoots into 404, rolls 2 focuses and a hit. I roll 1 evade. Iden has spent the focus for 3, so I take 2 and 404 dies.
Yes.
But 404 gets to shoot, and we're just committing at this point. Range 2 into Vader.
Hang on. You got contingency protocol, right?
Yes, I do.
What is the exact? Is it another ship?
Yes.
Oh, that's a real shame.
Yeah, it's another ship.
404 could have just picked.
Wait, did I forget contingency protocol?
I was going to say,
I might have forgotten contingency protocol.
Contingency anyone?
I don't see any random things. I might have forgotten. Wow, misplay. Anywho, I roll focus crit into Vader, spend my calculate for hit crit, and Vader rolls 2 evades. Oh god, you know what? I really wish I had remembered because
no.
32C target locked.
I know why you didn't do it.
Why?
Because he's not dead.
Oh, he's not dead.
That also 4 damage.
I could have sworn I had 3 damage on me, and I rolled. Whatever.
I thought, but you got 4 damage.
I must have. Oh, I must have nicked an evade. I've nicked the calculate from the flak. That's what I've done. I missed that.
Maybe what it is.
Anywho, so yeah, 32C shot into Vader and did nothing.
This is Vizier into
The flak. To the Howard Charl rolls 3 hits. I roll 2 evades. So the Howard Charl is on 1. He's still alive. And then that's it.
7-8.
I get 2 points to 1. It's 7-8.
So the Howard Child just turns and claims that objective, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And then you.
The problem is that Vizier gets the center objective, and I think one of the TIE fighters gets the far left. Anywho, I win priority. Howard Child does a 2 hard to the right and claims the far right objective. I now currently own all 3 of the objectives. Vizier does a 1 bank to the left and claims the center objective, and there's not a whole lot I can do to stop that. I forget which initiative my bombers move in, and 32C does a 1 straight and bumps into the back of 404 and takes a damage. Then then 404 moves and just does a 4 straight and target locks Vader in hope.
I mean, yeah.
I barrel to the right, target lock Vader, and if Vader is at range 1 of me, then I get to shoot him. Iden does a 3k, I believe.
Yeah, looks like.
My pink flak does a 3 hard to the right, and I take a calculate. And then my other flak does I believe that is a 3 or 2 bank to the right. Unfortunately, bump into Backstabber, so I can't reclaim the center objective, but I just take the red calculate. Then Backstabber does a 1 hard to the left, and he's still stressed. Mauler does a 1 hard to the left. And I think focus is... Yeah, it takes a focus. Vader does a 3 hard to the right. Afterburners boosts away. And that is that, because he's still stressed, I think, after all of that. So, this is it. My flak... Vader has no shot, so my fires. My flak, range 3, obstructed into Vader. I have a calculate for a mod. I roll hit, focus, blank, and I spend my calculate for 2 hits. Vader rolls 2 focuses and 3 blanks, and only has 1 force.
He's got 3 force up there.
Has he got 3 force?
Well, he's got 3 up.
I can't. Yeah.
But I thought he was. Yeah, it looks like he spent 2 of them.
Yeah.
To dodge it.
Yeah. Spent 2 of them to dodge it. I'm getting baited by the blur at the top of the screen. Everything just looks like a thing. Anyway, I know I killed Vader this round. I just can't remember which shot it was. Anyway, the other flak has no shot, sadly.
So I'm guessing it's 404 then.
Yeah.
The little droid, they're good.
So this is one of the I5 TIE fighters shooting at range 1 into someone. Rolls hit, crit. I roll blank focus.
It looks like Mauler
32C is dead.
32C.
Yeah, 32C is dead. Oh, yes. Here is where I'm like, damn it. If I hadn't won first player, the pink flak could boost and would get a shot. But I won first player. And so the pink flak is already engaged.
Oh, of course. Yes. And you barrel rolled 32.
So I believe...
404.
Well,
so.
Yeah, I'd already barreled 404, so I think I just take a calculate on him, because why not? Then Backstabber has range 1 into a flak. I believe he takes the pink flak. Rolls 1 hit. I roll 1 evade. Then 404 rolls into Vader. I roll 2 blanks. Spend the lock on the blanks. Hit focus. Spend the calculate for 2 hits. Vader rolls blank focus, and there is only 1 force left on the board to spend, and takes damage, and Vader dies. So 13-11, I'm up. We then check for disciplined, but Iden's out of range. Iden has a range 3 shot into 404 or a range 2 shot into the flak.
I mean, you're going to 404.
They're both on 1 health.
I suppose, same greens, less mods.
I can't remember who he goes into. He rolls hit crit. And I roll triple blank. So yeah, the flak is getting down. So there's 4 points to Matt. So 13-15.
Contingency.
Contingency protocol, but it doesn't matter at this point. Like no one, no. Basically, I think the bottom flag you'll see now has taken a random evade, just in case. So Vizier shoots into the bottom flag. I roll. Focus, focus. I believe I roll like focus, blank, focus. Spend my calculate and my evade for
No,
2, and
you haven't. Your evade's still
No,
there. You rolled evade blank, evade focus, focus. You've spent a calculate and taken a crit. Why didn't you spend your focus as well? Your evade as well?
I think I did spend that.
Oh, okay. You've just not removed it.
I've just not removed it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I spent it. I just didn't remove it because this is the last shot of the game. We just added up points. You see, yeah, he's gone up to 19 now. So that the pink flag is like dead.
But how? He rolled. Oh, unless it was a blank and you changed it that we didn't notice.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was blank, focus, focus. I spent my evade and focus for 2. Yeah, see, I removed it now, and I'm just. Yeah, I stopped the recording there, but that was it. That was the game. All of my ships died. So did Vader.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
Yeah, well, like I said, so I've decided to mentally like I'm not thinking too deeply about what happened after the turn where I screwed up and bumped everyone, because I think if I just do that correctly, I'm in a much nicer shape for the rest of the game.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So I was like, okay, this was where I made a mistake. Just if you think it might not make it, just take the safe one, because you can just barrel run out of the way of your damn flak.
Yeah.
Which is the lesson to take away there. But no, that was a good game, and that was stupidly tight. Like really tight the entire way, and like until the very end. We were within like 1 point of each other.
Yeah. Yeah, holding your own for sure. Yeah. Always. Yeah. Make sure you're clear. Because I take it that the 4s on the vultures are blue, aren't they? So
yeah, the 4 is blue. It was just a case of I wanted to make I got myself into a weird thinking spot where I was like, I want to be here, but I'm not sure if I want to make sure I'm not in the way of my own flak, and I'm not sure I wanted to barrel roll. I think that's where my thinking got me into a weird spot.
Honestly, I think at that point you have to go with the go there and accept you might have to barrel roll.
Yeah, I think that is the problem. Is like I thought it was like I want to be here, but I'm not sure I want to barrel roll. Was my weird thought process. So I was like, I want to cut it as finely as possible, and just cut it too fine. And if I do a 4 straight, the entire that entire turn, I think just goes a lot nicer for me because no one bumps.
No one bumps. They've all got mods. You pump a load of damage in. Like apart from that one, the first Howl Child that bumped, everyone else is near enough in the same position.
Yeah.
So you get the same sort of shots as you did, but you have mods on all of them, and you take I think 2 less damage across your ships.
Yeah, literally that. Which, obviously hindsight is glory, but like 2 less damage across all my ships and 30C is alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that was that game. It was such a good game though. It was so stupidly close. And I remember thinking at the time, it was like, I've sort of pigeonholed myself into shooting Vader, but I don't see another option.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, once you chucked that much damage through and time was running out, you didn't. But also, those ties are damn hard to actually get damage through.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, I did think, like I said, like when you said Tiger Lock Maul, I was like, I did think about it, but I just saw Iden, I was like, oh, I haven't even broken the Iden charge.
But if you burn that, then it does become easier.
Yeah. Like, imagine how the game goes if if I don't remind Matt about elusive.
Yeah.
Because he was thinking he was going to burn the Iden charge on like the first shot of the game, and I was like, oh no, you've got elusive, and he was like, oh yeah, rolls it into an evade. Sweet, spent the focus. And I'm like, well, this is backfired.
But that's why we're the gentleman players, and
exactly. But no, it was a good game. It was a really, really good game. I have no complaints about that.
No, I have to say I've enjoyed this tournament so far. I have one more match tomorrow evening, which will be.
Yep. I have one more match in about 35 minutes.
Yeah. And on that, we better wrap up so you can get yourself prepared.
Yeah. Yes, prepared. I shall go and make a coffee and look at memes.
I am, in fact, on holiday next week, so Sam and I are going to record next week's episode after Sam's played that game, or the next couple of days anyway. So it may end up getting uploaded on a random day on the next weekend, on the Saturday or Sunday. We will have to see. So, yeah, that'll be that. I think we're going to play a game against each other because we've pretty much been playing Kyber lists and practicing STO lists for quite a while. So we've both been playing 2 lists. And I think we're just going to play something a bit different.
I mean, you say playing 2 lists. My Kyber list, my STO list is currently looking pretty identical.
Okay. You've been playing 1 list constantly. I've been playing 2 lists. I think we're both just going to have a chat.
I mean, I'm going to have to experiment, right? I've got to Mr. Stumbo's shown me that infiltrators can do the work.
So spoilers for next week.
Actually, although you say that, but I've watched it play. It's like actually, all it did was sit there cloaked.
Yeah, on that one scenario.
True. There's only one I could find. There's only one I could find. It just made me laugh. It's like you're spending all these points on a proton torpedo, and you just sat there cloaked the entire game. I mean, it was the correct play. He won.
Yeah.
Like it just made me chuckle. It's like.
But yeah, we will let you guys know the week after next how we actually finish Kyber. Hopefully 3-2. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's the hope. We'll have a good sign in 30 minutes or so.
But on that, we'll wrap it up. See you guys next week.
Yeah, see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.